It's recorded.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. So how many people are here? Cool. Oh, hi, Stephen.
A
And
few.
Candy Javar? I hope I said that right.
Looks like candy caviar. Nope. Caviar. I don't know. They're going to mess up our names just as we're messing up theirs, and that's how it is.
I mean, it's hard to mess up Rob.
Yeah, well, that's a really hard name,
It is.
There's one-syllable words.
Yeah.
Although when you try to get to my last name, it's completely unspellable.
Yeah. Did you already do a rundown of what we're going to cover? Or are we just kind of sort of waiting for people to populate?
Well, I was giving them what they're going to learn, sort of. We are actually calling this Blab now. We kind of came up with a name. It's a brilliant name, and it's called Social Leverage. And we're going to help you get the most from your social media experience. So we hope that you stick around, that you come back week after week. If we don't hurt you too much with the information we give you, then please, reach out to us.
Yeah, and definitely interact with us, ask us questions, because we want this to be largely based on users' questions. And the way we're going to structure it is the beginning, we're going to run through sort of the agenda of the topic for the week, and this week is Facebook and how to use Facebook groups to build your brand and influence and impact people. And then later on, we're going to have questions. So you can either type your questions in, or I'll unlock the seat at the Q&A portion, and you can call in if you want to do that too. So I think it'll be fun.
And this week's sponsors are, we don't have any sponsors. We're a new show.
Well, it should be Harry Potter, Universal Harry Potter World should, but yeah. Maybe later.
They'll have to give us free tickets.
Yeah, definitely.
But those who don't know us, I'm Rob Anspach. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I have a couple social media books. I have books on motivation. I just co-authored a book with a gastric sleeve doctor down in Mexico. And Devani is an up-and-coming superstar when it comes to social media content. So I think that you're going to learn some stuff. And both of us have different points of view. So what works for me may not work for Devani. What works for Devani may not work for me. But, we continue to push out content every day to help entertain, educate, and engage our audience. And that's exactly what you guys should be doing.
Absolutely. And also remembering that the ROI in social media is engagement and sales. So it's not just a one-level ROI. And we're going to be talking about how to leverage that, which is why the show is called Social Leverage, because we want to talk about the social aspects of social media. We're on there to connect with human beings at the end of the day, but then to leverage that relationship. It's not just connections, it's not just followers, it's not just friends, it's relationships that you're building online. And today, we should just dive into talking about what we're going to talk about. Many of you are probably in and even manage Facebook groups. If you're not, then I hope by the end of this you find social media groups in your marketplace, or build social media groups, Facebook groups in your marketplace, and learn how to create a tribe of like-minded people who will support you and what you're doing. And you can also give back to them. Rob has a lot of his own personal Facebook groups, and I manage a lot of Facebook groups for my clients. So we're both going to be coming from those two different perspectives on that. And so, Rob, do you want to start talking about kind of how you manage and utilize Facebook groups in your business?
About 2 years ago, I created a business group called the Business Dojo. And all I do is once a day post some type of inspirational quote or meme, or something that I think will help my fellow entrepreneur. And, after about a year of all these quotes and whatnots that I was posting, I looked down one day and I'm like, wow, I have 1,300 people that belong to this group that want the information. And the nice thing about groups is versus a typical Facebook page is that you put the information out and that you hope someone likes, comments, or posts. With a group, you have interaction. You have more of the people that really want your information in one place. After about a year, I took all the information that I was posting and I resorted it, and I actually wrote a book called I can't even think. Oh, Lessons from the Dojo. I've written so many books. But the Lessons from the Dojo takes a lot of the concepts I was sharing into a book, which makes it a lot easier for people to read. The nice thing about groups is that you control the information. You can allow people to join. You can revoke their membership. You can, make your own set of rules, which is nice because a typical fan page, you can't do that. Anybody can like your page. Anybody can comment on it. So with a group, you have more control.
Yeah, and you have more of an ability to connect on a more personal level, even if it's business topics. So if you're a coach, or if you have a private mastermind or a program or course, you have this opportunity to have this one-on-one communication with your entire community, or at least the people who buy into your tribe and your audience and your message, in a way that it's harder to do via email. It's a little bit harder to do via live stream, but it's about as close as you can get. And it's just hard to do on a more generic level. We definitely recommend public pages, of course, but having a group in your strategy will really give you that leverage to create personal connection, which is a lot more important in your business in the long term than just a bunch of people like your page. That's good too for social proof, but you also need the tight-knit circle of buyers that you have access to and they have access to you, so that you can bounce ideas, you can share your knowledge with them first before anybody else sees it. So you can just build a solid community around what you do. And you'll oftentimes find that the community you build around whatever you're doing for Facebook groups, whether it's health, coaching, business coaching, life coaching, relationship coaching, whatever niche you're in, then you have a chance to really analyze your target profile and target buyer, and you get to really hone in on your pain points and how you can get look-alike people to join that group, and how you can craft your message so that you're targeting those people that need to hear your message even more. So that is my favorite part about Facebook groups, is that one-on-one connection for sure.
And a group makes it a lot easier when you do have a product that you want to sell, to introduce it to the group first. So if you come out with, a seminar or a podcast or a book, you can bring it to the group and ask questions. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you, what's your take on this? And now you're getting them to give you feedback, much valued feedback, because now you can say, well, okay, I need to make the book better. I need to do this. I need to make the product better. But now these are people that know you, they like you, they trust you, and they're more inclined to want to buy from you when you do have a product. Definitely. Not just on your fan page, because you're going to spend a lot of time and effort trying to create that trust on a fan page that may not get the know, like, and trust that you're developing in a group page.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. And you also get this sense of, there's so many different ways, like do's and don'ts about Facebook groups that we'll get into in a moment, but the part about it is that you get Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups are like this a lot as well. I'm not in them as much, so I don't know the sort of vibe of LinkedIn groups as much, but with Facebook groups, you get to witness like people helping people, just genuinely helping each other, even if you're not in there every day monitoring the conversation, if you're not constantly, responding to everyone, you get the community to help you, help everyone else. And that's a really beautiful thing to witness in your business. And it only helps you grow. So,
whereas I allow people to join, but then I actually critique, if I see that there's no banner, there's no picture, there's not much on their page, I will block them off the page because, to me, there are a lot of bad apples that just join groups in hopes that they can spam their marketing message out there. Devani does it a little different for her groups, where they actually have to fill out a form and give Devani a lot more information, and then she can pick and choose who she wants to join the group, which is a brilliant idea. And it helps build up your email lists when you do it that way.
Yeah, and you just have to decide. The biggest thing that people kind of forget when they start a group is, and I mean, this goes for almost everything in business, is they sort of forget sort of the core reason why they need that group. So it's easy. We've all done it, the ready, fire, aim, where we just start something and then figure it out as we go. And that's fine. That's a really good way to kind of dive in head first and figure it out. But when it comes to building a community, yeah, sorry guys, I'll answer that. We'll answer that question in a second, Stephen. Okay, yeah. When you're building a community, you want to have a solid purpose, an end goal, or at least enough of an end goal that develops along the way. So with a lot of the groups that I help manage, the end goal isn't necessarily, oh, this person will be a customer. It'll be, this group is about helping people in this niche. So one of them is about online funnel marketing. And it's like, this group is here to help educate people on how to use email funnels in their business. And that's the goal of the group. The people who come in want to build their email list. They want to create buyers in their business through email funnels, through Facebook ads, and that's the sole focus of that group. And then because of all that value, they become buyers of the product, of the courses, etc. So definitely go in with a really clear plan in mind of how you want somebody to go through sort of your funnel when you create a group.
Well, let's jump into Stephen's question, because I think it's relevant. And for those who aren't seeing what we're seeing, Stephen asks, so are you guys mostly pushing content or helping? Because I have an understanding of marketing, but I'm not sure I can give advice. And that's really good, because as you progress through social media or even marketing, there's a lot of great books out there. The advice that you know now may not be the advice that you want to go out and give people. And, it took me 20 years owning a cleaning business before I realized that I didn't really like being in the cleaning industry, although I knew all the marketing that was behind it and I designed all my marketing and wrote my own copy. I enjoyed going out and teaching people. And so, yes, we are pushing content and we are trying to help people. And we do have products if you want to buy them. But our main purpose is to help you guys be better at what you're doing right now, so that you have a better understanding of the concepts, of the tactics, of the strategies that you need to be better at social media, so that 2 weeks down the road, a month down the road, a year down the road, you can say, wow, this is finally starting to click. I can go out and teach people how to do this and make money as a consultant, instead of just going out there and creating content.
Definitely. And I think when a group gets too much into pushing content just to push content, that's when you step back and say, okay, what's my purpose here? Am I really serving people? And a lot of times, unless you're just starting a group, which sometimes when you just start, there's low engagement. But if you're in a group for several months and you're getting lack of engagement, then that's the time where you step back and say, okay, is this content actually helping people, or am I just putting stuff out that I think is interesting that these people might not think is interesting? And then the follow-up question to that is, are these the right people to be in the group for the content that I know about, or do I need to sort of survey them and switch gears a little bit to fit their needs? And the way you figure that out is, of course, surveying them is one way to figure that out. But if you survey them and you discover, okay, well, this person is not a right fit for this group because I can't help them with the area that they need help with, then that's when you decide to sort of cull your list, your group list, and refocus on the target that you want. You want a target avatar, and that person should not be too different from your business avatar. So your Facebook group should definitely tie into your brand. And if you have one Facebook group that is about, health coaching and another about, but your business is about like life coaching, then, I mean, there could be similarities, but you see how there's a little bit of a difference where people are like, wait a second, is this person a life coach? Are they a health coach? How do I utilize them? How are they benefiting me? And why is there such a disconnect between the brand and the group? So you definitely want to do things that align with the brand you already have so that it all feeds in and helps your business in general grow and is not just a distraction.
Most of the people that are in my business dojo are all entrepreneurs. So they're looking for a certain set of, whether it be motivational quotes, they're looking for, help, they're looking for advice, they're looking for, something that may help them that day. So I try to keep it simple. I try to keep it, maybe, one day a week I might put something up there. Hey, I got this new book that I just wrote, or I did this, or I did that. But, that is just because I know the group after almost 2 years, I know what they're going to react to, and you as, a new group owner or a group facilitator, you have to understand the dynamics of the group that you're in, because what I can get away with in my own group, I may not be able to get away with it in somebody else's group. Every rule is a little different, and some people say, you know what, I don't want links. You can't post this, you can't post that, you can't, and so you have to abide by the rules in the group. Now, do I allow other people to post in my group? Yes, but I also make sure that the people that are posting in my group I already know, because those people coming in that are relatively new to a group and they start posting right away, usually it's spam.
Yeah, definitely.
So I always make sure who they are before I allow them to just willy-nilly post.
Definitely. That's a really good segue into talking about the sort of differences in how you can kind of command your group in ways that other people might not. And establishing rules. Think of your brand as your main like business, but then your group, your Facebook group, is kind of like a subdomain within your business, and you get to create the rules. You get to determine what's okay with you and what's not. I know with Rob's group, a lot of it's just giving away content and inspiring people. There are some groups where it's specifically about promoting content. I'm in a group with a friend of mine. Her name's Isabel Rizzo, and she has a Singularity Storyteller group. And that group is mainly specifically women entrepreneurs who are, a lot of them are in the coaching space, and their goal in that group is to share their story, to hone in on their story, and to share with the other people in the group about their business. So there are specific days where Isabel allows promotional content, and there are other days where it's like, okay, guys, this is going to be about discussion on how to build your brand, how to tell your story, how to craft your story, and we're not going to be promoting today. I know in a lot of the groups I manage, most of it is not like, we don't allow promotions in most of the groups I manage at all. And the only way to promote your content is to email myself or one of the other admins of the group, and it's only after you have provided the group with a give. So, you engage with the discussions, you help people just because you can and because you show up. So maybe with someone with less experience, I'm reading Steven's question. Maybe with someone with less experience, it may be good to build a community of entry-level people. I just wouldn't want to waste my time investing in people that aren't going to connect with me dollar-wise. Okay, really good question. Yes and no. So it depends, again, on your goals and why you initially want them to join your group. If your end goal is for them to buy a product, then the group would either be based around you being the expert and having a community of followers who engage with your content, and it serves them and their end goal, whatever that might be for you and them, or you focus on email growth and providing value that way and upselling them to a course that then has a group as one of the benefits. So those are two angles to come with it. If you want to provide, I'll unlock this if you want to provide a little bit more context, if you already have an idea, and maybe we can give you more targeted feedback if you want.
One of the things that you can also do, even if you don't have the experience, okay, create a group surrounded around what you know, okay? Build up an audience, okay? And as that audience builds up, you're going to have like-minded individuals that want to join the group. And as that starts to build up, you can start posting more and more stuff. They're going to start seeing your name. They're going to start recognizing you. They're going to start saying, hey, that guy's the admin. He's the authority. He has influence. And then it's going to start to grow. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. Maybe you won't have the answers, but you can always go to someone outside your group to get the answers to bring it back in the group. And now these people who are like-minded like you are going to start coming to you because you're the guy who created the group.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. And also, glad that answered your question. If any of the rest of you have questions, then definitely drop it in the chat and we'll get to that. Definitely want to make it interactive. Now, building influence, and how do you leverage sort of other groups to help you? The biggest struggle with joining other groups for a lot of people is the fact that a lot of groups have their own rules, and it takes a lot of time to establish yourself in someone else's group, as well as you need to learn the rules and play by other people's rules when you are in someone else's group. So if I were in Rob's group and the Business Dojo and I just came in and started talking and going on and, you know, selling my services, that would not be cool. If I went, it would sort of be like you showing up to someone else's house uninvited and just, you know, creating your own agenda with things. So that's not a cool thing. And it does take time to, I'm not gonna lie, being in a lot of groups is not I'm just gonna go and spend 10 minutes a day talking to people. It's a relationship building process, and you cannot expect it to take, you know, a day or a week. My best advice is search for groups in your marketplace. Typically, the descriptions of groups are public, so you can see them before joining, and look for groups that are about service and helping. A lot of the promo groups you're going to join are just a bunch of people promoting their stuff, and you're not going to get a lot of value out of that. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's nice to be in one or two of those groups, so when you do have a promotion, you can have other people in the marketplace that might share your promotion or your deal, and that can be strategic. But for the most part, join groups that are about building community and serving other people, and go in not as the expert, but just as somebody learning alongside everyone else, and help when you can.
You know,
that's how you manage being in other people's group.
One of the things that really launched the Business Dojo was just me posting pictures and quotes, because people love to share those pictures and quotes. And you know, I started out probably with, you know, 100 of my friends who joined because I asked them to. But over the next few months, it rapidly grew. And, you know, like I said, now there's 1,300 people in there, and it's really starting to come alive. People are coming in and they're engaging, they're posting, they're commenting, and they're sharing more and more. So every day I look down, there's more people that want to join. And that's just another way that you guys can do the same thing with your own groups. You know, as your group gets a little bit bigger, you know, you can bring on moderators. Now you can actually, instead of having just one admin, you can have one admin and multiple moderators. And which helps, because you can't always be in front of your computer monitor, you know, looking at what's going on. So, you know, think about what you want to achieve with a group, what the outcome is. Create that group and watch it just grow.
Definitely. And my only tactic on Facebook is to post an image promoting one of my books on Amazon on Sunday. Very targeted and effective.
Here's the thing about book publishing and book marketing, because I've written 6 of them. I have 2 more coming out. Get your fans, friends, and followers to take pictures of your book, post it on social media, have them tag themselves and tag you, because now their friends will see that they're reading your book, and your friends will see that another person's reading your book, and more people will go out and buy your book.
And create a custom hashtag too, especially if you do this on Twitter or Instagram. I know Rob, what was your book's hashtag for the share course?
Well, the share book was Share 27 Ways.
And then I think for the business dojo, you had a hashtag, which was
that was Lessons from the Dojo, a hashtag.
Yeah, so use the book title as a hashtag, and if it's like a really long book title, then you can sort of make an initial or something that obviously represents the book, and it allows you to track what's happening with the book, but then also, like Rob said, the social proof that comes with that is amazing, and you can compile that all onto your website and your Facebook page and all that stuff. That's awesome. Cool. Create a. Yep. I think I can see this chat, right?
But include your group pages on your websites. Include them in your emails. Everything that you do. I mean, you have business cards that tell people to go to your website or go to your, subscribe to your email. Let them know about your group. Let them know that, they're welcome to join, because you're going to have more interaction in the group than you will on a Facebook page. And a lot of times you'll have more interaction in that group than you will through an email subscriber list.
100%. And part of it's just because in a group you can make it closed or secret, and that just gives people the security to feel like, I know you, I trust you, and I want to share my struggle, or I want to share my win that I don't necessarily want to constantly be talking on my personal page about or messaging someone with, but I want to be in this environment of like-minded people, and I want to connect and get the help I need, help people, whoever else is in the group, and get your expert opinion. So that's the biggest thing. A lot of people join groups because of the person who's the admin, or the several admins in this case, if there's more than one in that, they want your expert advice. They want sort of your attention, and that's why they're there. And so that's a huge opportunity. It's almost like people are saying, okay, I'm here, teach me. And all their questions are just constantly like, you give me your knowledge. And that is sort of like, a lot of people talk about the give. I know Gary Vaynerchuk's a big person who talks about giving, and a lot of online marketers and influencers in the space talk about it. It's really about giving your time, and that's what makes people trust you. It's always a sort of double-edged sword when you're thinking, well, I've given so much time and I've had so little results as the outcome. And that's when you really have to step back and be like, okay, are the people who are here, are they freeloaders? And if so, how do I need to change my strategy so that I get people who appreciate the free advice, but then also are ready for more, and they aren't just there to sort of leech off the knowledge or to spam like we talked about earlier. In several of the groups I manage, we do, I think we talked about this earlier, but if you missed it, we do application-based entries. So you have to apply via an application, which allows us to capture your email, somebody's name, and it allows us to learn more about who they are and their business and their marketing struggles before they join, so that we can sort of pre-qualify the person. Because if, for the group I was talking about earlier, if they're, it's limitless, if they are a business person and their marketing funnel is perfectly fine, then they don't really necessarily have a huge reason to be in the group, unless they want to learn how to make it more effective. Or if somebody's saying, well, I want to learn more about social media and how to use social media. Well, our group's about funnel marketing. So if you want to learn about social media, you might want to go somewhere else. And so it just allows us to say, okay, these are the people who are in the group, and these are the people who are not, or don't need to be here. And it's not about excluding people necessarily. It's more just about helping them identify that they're going to just be wasting their time if they're joining a group that they really won't benefit from. And so I'm a huge fan of using applications to pre-qualify. And 2 tools I recommend if you're not already doing email marketing or surveys is Typeform, amazingly simple surveys, and MailChimp. So 2 cool tools. Both have free versions.
Well, I like free. Now, you know, and guys, you know, I say this a lot. I say this, you know, in some of my books. Money is the byproduct of trust creation. You have to create that trust, that influence, that authority before someone feels compelled that they want to give their money to you. So, you know, trust is the big thing. They're coming to your groups to know more about you, to learn more about you, to become your friend, to trust you. Once that trust is earned, you know, they will buy whatever you're selling. So whether it be books, whether it be products, whether it be, you know, whatever, you know, because they like you, because they trust you, because they're part of the group that you started, they're going to be more inclined to buy from you.
Yeah, definitely. That's the big takeaway. And don't be discouraged if it takes time. It always takes time. Like, this is not like a quick fix to your business type thing. Building a community is not an overnight thing at all. Success isn't overnight. Building a community is not overnight. You know, it takes some intuition in terms of knowing what your purpose is and how you can best serve others. It's a great way to ask questions. When you're in a group, you should also definitely be asking people questions, asking them their struggles on a regular basis, you know, just really getting a feel for, okay, what do you guys need? How can we just sort of abolish what you're struggling with so that you can move forward in whatever way that is for you and your group. So that should be the #1 focus for sure. And then, like Rob said, from that's where you get the people who trust you and say, okay, take my money, buy my stuff.
You know, you guys, you know, especially you, Stephen, asked a lot of good questions, and I appreciate the time that you took to be on the show, to come on board. This is our second our second blab, and the first one we didn't even have a name for the show, and I think, you know, we had maybe 1 or 2 followers, and it was great. But, you know, I appreciate all the people that came out here. You took your time to learn something, to say, hey, you know what, I support Devani, I support this guy named Rob. And, you know, even if I have a tough name, it doesn't matter. You know, I like that you came out here and you're spending an hour with us. And that is the same purpose that people are going to come to you when you build your group, when you build your tribe, whether it be, you know, 1 group, 2 groups, more. You can, you know, have different names for different, whatever groups that you want to, you know, create. You know, I did the business dojo because I just wanted to help entrepreneurs. And, you know, so you can create, you know, a guitar group, you can create a Harry Potter group, whatever you want to create. That's entirely up to you. You have to have at least some knowledge of that particular group that you can share content with them, you know, on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And someone the other day asked a really great question. She was struggling with the fact that she didn't feel qualified enough to teach a specific topic. She was like, I'm not like this super successful expert crushing it in the field. And so she was kind of struggling with that block of, okay, if I'm not this, you know, if I'm not the Marie Forleo of my industry or whatever, how am I qualified to start a group or to start, you know, whatever she was starting? It wasn't necessarily about groups, but basically her question was, how do I don't feel qualified, what do I do? And the response to that is, you don't have to be the leading expert in your niche. You just have to be at least 1 to 2 steps ahead of the people you're trying to help. And you need to stay on the learning curve. So you're constantly learning more at a pace where you're, you know, several steps ahead of the people who you're serving. That's what it takes. It does not mean, oh, you have to be this uber successful person and only then can you start teaching. You just need to have enough success and be ahead enough to help the person behind you get to your level, and then you're both growing, you know.
And I think you also have to have a little bit of confidence in yourself, because, you know, without that confidence, you're not going to get behind the group. You're not going to say, I want to do this. I want to take action. You know, without confidence, I can't get in front of you guys and talk about social media. Okay. So understand that you need some confidence to be able to do what you're doing. And once other people see that you have confidence, they're going to trust you. They're going to say, wow, you know, he seems to have his act together. He seems to know his shit. So, you know, just try it. You know, just do something. You know, it's okay if you don't have all the answers, but just get out there and start getting your face in front of people. And they're going to start trusting you enough to say, you know what, I want to hire you. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And it's just going to mushroom from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and definitely use, when it comes to Facebook groups, in terms of like promoting it and getting people to join the group, I mean, use your email list, use your Twitter following, use your Facebook page, your personal profile, your Instagram, wherever you are on social media. I mean, it's the same as publishing your blog post, or, you know, put it out there. Say, you know, claim your spot of authority, you know, and it doesn't matter. I mean, Rob and I are both in the marketing space. That doesn't mean, it doesn't mean we can't both be talking about this. So it's definitely a collaborative space.
What? You're in the marketing field?
What?
Oh, I got to get off here if you're in the
LOL. Best way to find Facebook groups. Yes, so the best way to find them is just to search in the Facebook search bar. Whatever topic, I don't know what topic you would want to be looking for, but just do like, I don't know, online marketing groups, and you'll find them. Or Harry Potter groups, art and design. Okay, yeah, definitely look up art groups, design groups, art and design groups.
And once you join a few of those groups, Facebook is going to suggest a few others that may fit that profile that you're looking for.
For sure, yeah. And I don't know if you were here earlier when we were talking about joining groups, but most groups have a public description, so you'll be able to kind of go through and see if it's a group of interest to you and if it would actually benefit whatever you're looking for. So definitely, I would say if you're not in any groups at all, before starting one, I would join a couple in your marketplace, so you kind of have a pulse on what people are doing, and you get a sense of various vibes of different groups and how different admins are managing the groups. That'll give you a large leap ahead, so you can kind of see before you start with your own group how things roll, the best flow you like in a group. Yeah, that's definitely how I started.
And you're more than welcome to join my group, the Business Dojo. You'll see it has a kind of a kung fu type temple in the back, and you know, take a look at the vibe that's going on. You know, if it's something that you like, you know, you can interact. My desktop just went on.
Yeah.
But you know, join a couple groups. Whether mine, whether Devani's, it doesn't matter whom. It just, you need to understand how they work, you know, and how and what you get from them.
Definitely. Yeah, and I mainly help other people manage groups. I'm probably going to be starting one soon of my own, but I'm coming more from the perspective of being an admin of several different types of communities. Whereas Rob has a lot of his own groups. So he has the, you know, I'm the king of this group. I'm more like, I'm just the admin, and I help people with theirs. So
I admin a few other groups, and some of them get a little sketchy sometimes, because you really have to buckle down and see what people are commenting. And you know, I was monitoring someone's group, and a member got out of hand and was asking a lot of ballsy questions. And I don't mind ballsy questions, but these questions were directly attacking somebody else, to the point where I had to delete their comment and block them off the page. And you know, I had to make a judgment call, because I couldn't get a hold of the person that actually created the page. Well, this person that I kicked off the group emailed this the admin before I could get a chance to let them know what was going on, and he basically let her have it. He says, I put the monitors in charge for a reason. And I'm just saying that with a group comes responsibility. So if you create a group, make sure that you're monitoring what's going on and not just being an absentee group owner.
Yeah, that's a great way for your group to quickly become a spam central because people will just take advantage of that and be like, oh, spam link. And then it'll basically be dead because the people who actually came there for value will leave because they're not getting what they came for whatsoever. And the people who are just spamming will spam each other for days, and eventually they'll leave because nothing's happening. So definitely either hire someone to help you if you're at that stage, and or just be present. Like, don't start a group if you don't have time to monitor it because it takes time.
Right. And, initially starting out, you can create a set of rules, keep it very simple, have 4 or 5 rules, no spam, no outbound links, whatever, but just keep it simple, and you can just pin it to the top of that page. So every time someone comes to that page, they see those rules again. And, once a month, you can always change that pin to something different. But just make sure that the people coming in understand that there are rules, and just don't make it a wild, wild west group, because otherwise you're going to lose control really quickly.
Absolutely. And also enforce the rules. There's a lot of groups where there's tons of rules left and right, but nobody's really actually enforcing them. So people are still getting away with spam. People are still getting away with slyly promoting their content. So if you're going to say, if you post a link and after 3 times of us telling you no, we're going to block you, then do that when that happens. Don't be afraid to say, hey, look, you keep breaking the rules, and this is your 3rd time and you're out. So enforce those rules or people will not take you seriously. And also remember that when you create the rules, it's for people who like to break the rules. So don't demean the adults and the good contributors at the same time. It's a fine balance sometimes, but definitely just make it clear that, hey, I'm posting these for the people who I've noticed breaking these rules. Most of you are cool and you're doing the right thing. So it's a fine balance for sure.
Well, we have about 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions that you're just dying to ask, shoot them off now, and we can at least have 10 minutes to go over them. Come on, someone has a question.
I mean, if you don't have a question, we can just go off.
Funny faces, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think, oh, there you go. One new question. I just can't see it for some reason.
Scroll down. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
What was your favorite part? See, just everything. So what's this? And I'm still getting used to this, Blab. So everybody forgive me. What's the number besides? I have a number 33 besides my name, and Devani has number 31. What does that mean?
It's like people giving you props, which I think is it's sort of like the little hearts on Periscope, or I think that's what it is. I'm still getting. This is only our second, so we're kind of figuring this out as we go along.
Now I have 39. Oh, we're tied now. That's just terrible. All right, someone has to do a tiebreaker. That's well, I'm not even going to worry about it next time because
yeah, I'm
going to end up losing.
But I like this Blab platform. It works. It's such a cool conversation. And then the little side panel chat thing, that's awesome. And next time, if you guys actually thought this was useful enough to come back again next week and hear what we have to say about something else, I will unlock, after 15 minutes, I will unlock the seat thingy. And if you're brave enough to hop on, you can. And we'll probably keep that to 3 to 5 minutes, so you can't just come on the seat and create this enormous promotion of yourself or something.
Yeah, like, me mentioning my books. I mean, that's a terrible promotion.
Well, I mean, it is your blab. It's a little different. That's another thing. Actually, I'm glad I mentioned that. Props to me. No, just kidding. But if you join someone else's group, be respectful of their space. Like, be respectful that they are allowed to promote their stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean you're just allowed to promote your stuff. I've been in a lot of groups where the rule is you don't promote, but the owner can promote, and they do have that prerogative. It's their space. They built it, and they can promote what they want to, even if they don't allow you to promote. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Wow, people keep joining. And we're
and they keep liking you. Come on, people, like me right there. Increase that number.
It's on the other side of your screen.
Well, no, it's on my side, so I don't know where it is on their side, but I'm not gonna sleep tonight knowing that I got such a low number. You can't do that. That's cheating.
All right. Are you on open.org? I mean, you can tweet me if you want. It's the same username. That's about as open.
What's tweet? Oh, we're on Twitter.
Twitter. Well, I mean, cool. And then Rob also has his group, which I linked above, and I'm sure that's a great place to network for him too.
So, out of all of you guys, I've been on social media for almost a decade now, mostly Facebook, LinkedIn at first, and then Twitter. I really like this live streaming platform. People can know, like, and trust me better, or, they look at my face and say, no, forget him. But it gives me a better opportunity to connect with you face to face. And you can see who I am, what I do, how I act or react. And, I think it's a lot better than a typical post on Facebook.
I agree.
Snapchat is another social network I like. Devani doesn't like it. But I really don't care for Twitter at all. So, I think with each platform that's out there, it needs to fit your personality and what you want to get out of it.
I like, by the way, someone asked, are you on Periscope? I have a Periscope, and it's pretty much just Devani Anjali. That's pretty much my username everywhere. And I like Blab better because it reminds me of like a more hip, cool version of Google Hangouts. And I like the fact that like Rob and I can be on together. You can be on with somebody else, sort of interview style, and have a conversation with people. Periscope and the one-way live streamings just don't gel with my personality. I see nothing wrong with using it as a business plan if you're really good at, doing the camera talking just with you. Definitely something to look into. Live streaming is an exploding way to grow your business. So definitely get on that bandwagon if it sort of vibes with your personality. I just personally don't like it.
So I think we're going to wrap up.
And thank you guys.
We've been on for almost an hour, and which was probably 30 minutes longer than we had thought. But I think the questions and the participation was actually, beneficial, and it made the show actually last longer than we had thought. So thank you, everyone.
Definitely. And we're going to be doing these weekly. So if you join Rob's Business Dojo, he'll probably post about it for next week's, and you'll get to see that one. And bye. Alrighty.